Hello, more welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professionalism for today's symptoms only. The events I'm going to talk today will be Ethereum. First, I want to say happy Saturday, everybody. Have a great weekend, by the way. Respect to recording time of 9:01 a.m. on Eastern Time. Ethereum could trade $3,969, down about 6% so far. As you can see clearly on the left side of the chart, entirely, the equity market closed on a really negative day yesterday. Seems like the market has corrected yesterday. And also with respect to the crypto side of the house, it seems like it has not revived. And with respect to the cup and handle that we were sustaining to form that scoop, for Ethereum to further sustain that buying pressure going forward, at least at a bare minimum of 4,150. It seems like we clearly broke it in front of us right now. And with respect to the technical resistance level, it came true for both resistance levels, right? First is the 3,850, right? It completely crashed through that. We hover a little bit around the 3,980 because we broke below the 4,000 mark. So people were lingering on, expecting that, we're not going to break below 4,000. But next thing you know, it did, right? Because of the crypto ban news that got percolated from China, and also with respect to the worsening news on the COVID variants, the Omicron. So all of that, strive, further fear mongering, and it's been consecutive days of just uncertainty, fear, and worsening cases. And the worst case came true in front of our eyes. For those that are not experienced in terms of understanding risk management. But we've been talking about this for a long time right now, right? And you guys even bring it up to me in my comment section I saw earlier this morning that, hey, we broke to the 3,450. We broke below 3,750. Now is the time to buy the dip. And you're correct. Now is the perfect time to buy the dips. But before I dive into the technical analysis, let's dive into the news front first. So I would say that, on Saturday, it's definitely a little bit more active in comparisons to usual Saturday morning, because obviously journalists also have to take a break too, right? But because of the volatility we've been experiencing collectively in the last couple of days so far, Saturday today is a little bit more active. So the first one is I've been saying about 2 hours. We'll talk about Ethereum decreases more than 15% within 24 hours. So this is talking about what's going on in front of our eyes right now. We sold down from what was expected to be a cup and handle, forming that, rim of the cup, which we did, right? We were lingering on around 4,450 to, formalize that handle. But because of the worsening news, the whole market just crashed, and it crashed by more than 15% within 24 hours. The next one's on Decrypt 2 hours ago. Talk about with respect to crypto crash continues as Bitcoin, Ethereum post double-digit loss. Well, you can see clearly Bitcoin is down about 12%, while Ethereum's down about 6%. So Bitcoin was already in the bearish states, like we talked about. So we'll dive into the technicals in a bit, right? And then the next one's talk about with respect to Bazinga 16 hours ago. Talk about has Ethereum succumbed to market fear? Bear bulls can watch this key level. And this is 16 hours ago, and they basically talk about the key resistance level that Ethereum has to sustain would be the $3,950, right? Which we broke earlier today. You could see how flash crash we was. And I really am so jealous of the folks that actually bought in at this dip. But I was dead asleep, and I wish that I was not in the time zone that I'm in. I feel like I always miss out on these dips, despite I'm on the East Coast. Like, if I was on the West Coast, it would be even worse because I would wake up even later, in a technical, time zone perspective. But it's okay, I think right now it's still not a terrible level to buy because we're at the 41 out of 70, so much better in comparisons to when we were normalized. So this is okay. It's not a terrible level, And then some of the other ones let's talk about with respect to some NFT transactions that's been made recently. 19 hours ago, talk about Bored Ape 2759 sold for 70 Ethereum. And then the other one is a picture of a guy with blue hair that looks like Cyclops, sold for 654,000 in Ethereum. And that's pretty much it on the news front. So obviously, with respect to the mixture that we're seeing right now, it's definitely hard to stomach, and I can understand that clearly. So I'll go through them one by one right now. And again, no worries, okay? Despite, how red the market is today, this is just technical, screaming psychological fear, right? Really, no worries, right? Still, do not be shaking, do not be like punching walls, do not be screaming in your pillows, or do not be yelling at your friends and family. So it's okay. This is supposed to be, this is just fear, right? Because, and we at the mercies of the whales and at the mercies of the feds and the news. And you can see clearly how much of fear we're driving right now, right? So on the fear index, we are, on the news front is high, but in terms of investment risk opportunity is relatively low, right? Which is great. So right now we've just formed a death cross, which is because the fact that we have, this negative news been percolating. So right now the 41 out of 70, so it's not terrible to buy, right? But if you got to the extreme depleted level, 3,450, like I said, right, which actually came true if you look into our resistance level. Oh, whoops. This resistance levels right here, right? We actually got there, right? So do we see 3,150? I think that would be really, really depleted. No, I think that's really, really a steal. But 3,450 was the consolidated level, and that's why we kind of hovered there for a little bit and then reversed immediately, right? So Bitcoin, we broke below. You could see that clearly, like I mentioned, right? Anywhere between the 52 to 47 would be the dip, and we are at the dip right now with the lower echelon of the dip as well. And whoever got in around the 43 or even below, you can see clearly how extremely oversold we are right now at the 42. Bitcoin is an extreme buy right now, I would say. Very much so. So I would actually think about incurring some risk on Bitcoin right now because we're very, very overly sold at the moment. So not a terrible level to incur some risk at the moment right now. I would say Bitcoin is a really good buy, actually. Dogecoin is at the 1677, down 16% right now. You could see that we broke below. Let me see. Let me zoom in closely. So you could see clearly that we got all the way to a 1302, and we even broke the level of 1950. And as we broke that, we just went all the way down. Right now we're at the 25 out of 70, so extremely oversold. So with respect to why we are at 1680 right now, is basically because we're matching with the very, very historical resistance level that we tested way before, right? So Dogecoin and Bitcoin are great buys right now in comparison to Ethereum. But obviously people say Dogecoin is not really a coin, it's just a meme coin. So to each his own. Cardano is down about 11% right now. We are at the next resistance level, at the even below 145. We're hovering between the levels, so you can see clearly we got to the 119 or 122 earlier today. So right now we are at the oversold level. So Cardano is not a terrible level to buy either. We basically match with this cross, and right now we at the very core resistance level right now. So Cardano is a great buy. Solana right now is just struggling with the 43. So ideally, again, right, anywhere from the 133 to 113 is still a better dip for us. XRP down about 20%. We crashed all the way down to 57. Holy Jesus. With the 25 out of 70. Right now, we got recuperated back up immediately because we're extremely oversold at that point where we're way below 20 on the RSI scale when we're at the 57. So right now, it's not a terrible level to buy. Again, do not be worried. This is no, this is just fear screaming, that they're scared. Uncertainties drives sell off. It's the greatest incentive again, right? In respect to polkadot, it's down about 21%. At the same right now is a really good level to buy, I would say. We are very oversold, 28 out of 70. Ideally, anywhere from the current level all the way to the 25 is still a good level. So polkadot is, despite down 21%, right now is a lot more opportune time for us to incur risk. ALGORAND, anywhere from the current level, it's not a terrible level. We did form a death cross, and we got all the way to an all-time low at the 135, and we are at the 40. So whoever got into 135, that was really, really the bottom technically. Shiba Inu, you could see how we actually got to where we talked about at the low 3,000, anywhere from 28 to 3,000 with the 40. So we still have some more room to go down to actually for Shiba Inu. So I'll probably watch out for it. Altcoins are a little bit more volatile, obviously. MagTech down about 17%. Despite selling down to 17%, we're still at the normalized level, which is quite interesting. Again, right, we got below 175. We completely crashed to this resistance level, right? And we didn't even get to the 143 yet. So that means we have some more room to go down to then. So MagTech, I'll probably watch out. Probably incur a little bit risk right now, but not too much. AVAX down about 18% as well. So you can see how much we are clearly at the resistance level right now. So incur a little bit of risk at the moment right now. I mean, obviously we got down to 81 earlier today. That was the dip on a preliminary perspective. We are still at the 41. So 81 was the dip, but if we crash down even more, 60 will be the next level to go down to. So respect to risk management level, these are the levels that we are already in or have been expecting. And you can see clearly how much we're touching on the respective attractive and steal zone, right? Again, no worries. I am losing just as much as you are losing right now, but it's just paper loss, right? Ultimately, patience and long-term holding or long-term investments is what's going to really drive capital gains going forward. And at the same time, you don't want to be paying tax for short-term gains anyways, right? I can tell you this much, my net worth was down about $150,000 yesterday. So, but it's all paper loss because I know it's going to come back eventually. You might ask, why didn't I sell if I expected this to happen? Well, I'm not a wizard, right? I had no expectations that people was going to be, having such high fear, drive such high uncertainty into the market like this, right? This was a black swan event, combined with the weekend affectation, combined with the uncertainty on the quantitative tapering, combined with the uncertainty on the COVID variants, the Omicron. So it's a lot of negative news. At the same time, with the crypto ban from China as well, and the delisting potential from China as well. So a lot of negative mixture. It seems like the world is definitely a crazy place out there right now. But when everybody's driving insane, with great logics and great mindset, you will come through, and a lot of millionaires and billionaires are created around these times, right? So remember to stay within your vision, your logics, and keep your goals long term, and you'll never lose money from here. Ultimately, let me know if you have any questions, and I really appreciate you for dropping by again. Have a great rest of the Saturday and weekend, and stay tuned for us to come up. Take care. Bye.